Hey, this is Forever Friday Show. I have a guest, Javon Giles, with me today. He was with me before. And today let's rant. We're gonna rant. We're just gonna rant. Rant. Here's Javon. And we're gonna rant. Let's rant. I want to rant about, I'm so kind of irritated with these young baby boomers that are raising kids. Well, actually, they're not raising the kids. They're having nannies because they're involved with their work. But, okay, I'm irritated by when it's a windy, cold, the mom or whomever that person is with the stroller has a jacket and a hat on. The kid doesn't have a sweater or a blanket over them or socks on the feet or nothing. The wind's just blowing them. What do you think about that?
Very poor parenting. Extremely poor.
I mean, if they're all bundled up, do you not think that the kiddo's cold?
I mean, like, the kids' bodies not even developed yet, or even built durable to even deal with cold winds. Like, that kid needs clothes.
And get this one. This one's just freaking pisses me off to the max. You know those, I'm assuming it's for rain, the plastic that covers the whole thing, that goes over the whole entire thing,
Yeah.
so the rain won't get them. That's what I'm assuming the plastic thing is.
Usually, yeah.
It's for the rain. People stick those over the kid. The kiddo's inside the stroller. Sticks them to protect them from the sun, mind you. Do you know what it feels like to sit in a car with all the windows rolled up? No tinted windows. It's an oven. Can you imagine being in a tent, a plastic tent, with no, like, flowing air? And you can't push that fast enough, even if there is, like, maybe a little teeny tiny hole in the side. I don't really even know. But it's an oven under there. That just makes me so mad. Those plastic things in the sun. Do you have any rant about that?
I really don't have anything to rant about that, only because I am nowhere near to being a parent. So, that is not a priority of mine to rant on.
Okay. Well, I am a parent, so I ranted about that. So, what do you want to rant about? What rants do you got? Let's rant!
I have a lot of rants,
Let's rant.
but my rants could cost me my job, so I will not rant.
Let's rant about the things you can rant about.
Give me a topic. What bothers you, and I can rant about it for you. What happened to the world, like the weather, or animals, or... We'll talk about weather, you want to talk about climate change? I could
everything.
rant about that.
Everything.
Well, I mean, capitalism is clearly a big problem to why our Earth is not sustainable at the moment. It also plays a big part of the whole COVID pandemic, is not having a sustainable planet, and how things spread so easily.
Like
the COVID variants, like our Delta variants, they just keep, only because of the way our ecosystem has, it's not even evolved, the way our ecosystem has proceeded to build the last 40, 50 years, especially with more corporations and more factories, with those things affecting our greenhouse gases in the air. It really,
it's true.
yeah, it just felt the variant to spread even more and have a new variant built even quicker. So it's a lot of ignorance and a lot of greed causing this ongoing pandemic.
Which president do you think that got worse? The world, the air, the icebergs
Reagan.
melting fast.
Reagan, free world market, or the world market, or
It started.
that's world market's a damn chain. Free market, yeah, is a Reagan thing.
Started back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a thing in like other countries, but I think creating a free global market has really been a detriment to workers of America, like people of you and me. It just allows capitalists to get richer. Because you know how it's easy for someone to say, oh, this immigrant came to America and took my job. No, the immigrant didn't take your job. The billionaire who's making money on top of money on your hard work found someone who could do the same job for cheaper labor, but you blame them instead.
That's true.
That's how they get you.
And even, I mean, that's funny because you never see white people. I'm sorry, well, I'm white, but you never see.
You can't suffer from racism or anything, so it's fine. Say what you want about yourself.
No, I mean, like, for real. You never see the white people out there picking as much as you do the immigrants type of people.
Yeah,
because that's their living. That's their world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are two different kinds of, I guess, agricultural and horticultural lifestyles. I think like a lot of white farmers in Middle America, they're a whole different type of farming. Like they're more into the crops and more into, like butcher system, like herding like animals. Like that's like a white farmer thing. Latin American farmers.
That's true.
Just picking, POC, like the slaves. You go back to slave times, picking cotton. You know, like
that's
the
true
real
too.
dirty, nitty gritty. Like already being a farmer is already super nitty gritty, but the lower tier nitty gritty goes to people who like me, and I'm black and Mexican, so I get both.
Your ancestors.
My ancestors, yeah. But yeah.
You know the right terminology. Forgive me, because I'm not ignorant, but I just don't know the right wording to put.
Oh yeah, I don't.
So I just say black, white, green.
It's fine. I mean,
purple.
My thing about ignorance, because I think it's really hard to place ignorance. Because I think ignorance has some means of. It could be a combination of misinformation, malicious intent. Like, there's a lot of ways to go about ignorance. You know, because I could meet someone who's racist. I can either tell they're really hateful or they're just misinformed.
Completely misinformed.
Yeah, like I've met a lot of misinformed racists. I could deal with that. That's fine.
I mean, people that have grown up like that and not. You're right. Have not been informed.
Yeah, it's like no one's born racist. I think I mentioned this before in the last show. No one's born racist. Like you don't come out as a hateful person. You have to be taught that.
Okay, since you just said that, what do you think about if you weren't born and raised racist? Were people born and raised gay or lesbian or whatever like that?
Oh, those race and sexuality are two completely different spectrums. What do you mean by that?
Well, do you think if you're born a boy that you have to be a girl, or vice versa? I mean,
no.
Well, is it all in your head and that's what you want to be, or you were born like that?
No. I mean, the way we were brought as people is just a social standard. As like because you have a vagina means you're a woman, and because I have a penis means I'm a man. That's not necessarily true. They're all just given terminology. by Western society. It's not a real thing. Like, you can even look at I don't know the actual term for the people. Like,
Hermaphrodite?
no.
I don't even know.
No. I'm talking about like the indigenous people, like Asian countries. You could look at their folklore and their hieroglyphics and their tales. It always involves There's a lot of transgender folklore. There's a lot of things like that. Even through all cultures, even through deep African roots, there's transgender roots there, because it's always been a thing. It's just Western society has made it so taboo. That's why you look at our world we live in now. We're in the year 2021. We're not in the year 2021. That's how much Western Christianity has taken over our society, that universally we all accept that we're in the year 2021.
Okay.
But it's because transgender issues are it's something I'm really passionate about, because I do have some trans friends. I have people who are in ways of transitioning from male to female or female to male. And it's the way they live their whole lives struggling with their identity because they're told to be a certain way. When clearly it does, when you're forced so much to be who you're not, it causes a lot of psychological problems. That's why it's easy to say, oh, like, they're transgender, they're not normal.
Who you're not.
Yeah, it's not easy to live a life like that. And then luckily we live in such a city where it's so liberating to be this way, that, it's good for these people to figure out who they are.
But if you're born one way, I don't know. I always just think about there's a certain amount of men and a certain amount of women, and there's a mate for each one. And I always think, like, if people are changing themselves, it's not going to be that mate for me in the long run.
Well, I mean, there's how many people on this planet? There's not. That doesn't
I
mean.
don't know.
That doesn't mean because someone's gonna lose out on a partner. That's our world is. Well, I wouldn't say overpopulated, because that's.
People are dying all the time, and babies are being born all the time.
I mean, it's a continuous cycle, and I don't want to say overpopulation is the problem. There's a lot of eugenic politics that goes behind that, which I don't have the bandwidth today to talk about. But
Let's rant.
I really can.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hungover. Like, I'm not okay. But Friday asked me to be on their show to rant about things, so I'm ranting about things.
It's okay, you're doing good.
Thanks.
You're doing amazing. What things do you I mean, what about animals? The animals.
I mean,
Animals in the world.
I think we're the dumbest animals out there. Honestly. Like,
Mammals.
we are mammals. We are animals, yeah. But we're the only animals probably in this universe that have, well, not universe, because we don't know what's out there, but we're probably the only animals on this planet. No, not probably. We are the only animals on this planet that has to work slave labor just to find means of survival. That's pretty stupid. But look at like a wild animal's life. They used to hunt and kill all day. That's dope. Like.
Oh, well. Wait, what did you just say?
Like, we're the only animals that have to give up our lives.
No, about hunting and killing.
Yeah, like, look at, like, a wild animal, like, out in the jungles and, like, wildlands. Like, they just hunt and kill all day. That's fucking cool. Sorry. Oh my God.
No, we, like, I was just talking to someone that I was checking out, like, I don't know, I put the app on beds and whatever on my computer, and someone called me, and I was like, oh, he's like, you're on our site for a bed. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I'm on it right now. I just was trying to see if there's any places going out of business, cheap beds, because I'm looking for a bed. And we ended up talking about everything else, but I said, I'm from Idaho, and we hunt and kill for we stock up for the winter. We hunt and we kill and we clean and we pack up our freezers for the long winters. We get our chopping and we get the chopping the wood, the trees, put it in a dry place. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have to do. Like out here, you guys don't do stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
You guys are all moving there, putting this stuff here, there.
Well, that's,
what you guys don't know is you gotta hunt.
well, yeah, it's rural America, where you're coming from.
We don't, you guys, not you, but
No, I know what you mean.
Californians don't know, okay, we'll go buy up all this cheap land. Okay, do that. But you just wait. When the food and the land run out and you don't want to
Well, yeah.
get a gun and shoot for.
Well, I mean, before you know it, all the people who are gonna get land out there, you'll be in next California. It's it's grade A consumerism.
Well, Boise, yeah, that's the main hub, Boise, Idaho, but
like rural Idaho.
45 minutes away, McCall used to be small little dot, teeny tiny, like that's where I was raised as a baby. All it is trees, mountains, every and any kind of animal you want to see and taste. Yeah, you think that would go to Idaho, live in Idaho in the woods, hunt and kill, and that would be your place.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
You said it would be
No, I'm
stinking rad.
I only said that because that's what animals do to survive. That's all they have to do. That's fine. But look at the society we live in as humans. Like, it's difficult. It's unnecessarily difficult.
We fight like.
Oh, I mean, well, capitalism. Sorry to go back to that again, but like it really messed up our trajectory of how we interact as human beings or work together. Because before we used to have just trade systems. You do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. And now it's
barter or hustle.
Yeah, now it's like you have to work so many jobs or do so many things just to survive instead of looking out for one another.
That's only this state in New York, the expensive states. We didn't have to do that in Utah and Idaho and the surrounding we didn't have to do that stuff.
I mean, that's just a very simpleton life. You know?
I don't know why everything's so complicated.
I think exposure makes life complicated even more. You know? Because again, like, if you notice these very simpleton red states, they're Trump supporters. Like, they're not very educated. They're not given a lot of things to learn about.
The left wing and the right wing states.
Yeah, I was about to go on something else. I thought you were going to say something else different, but a lot of these states, like, yeah, simpleton lifestyles. There's involved with a lot of hunting and killing, but there's no means of education, no means of exposure. I'm sure you draw me in the middle of Oklahoma, but like, what is this N-word doing here?
And like Kansas, well, true, because they don't have diversity.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. And identity and all of that stuff. We don't have none of that.
Yeah.
So, it is stinking hot. You're not hot?
No. You have a fever? You good?
I'm fine. No,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
fine.
Alright.
I'm just fat and hot. It's just fat. PHAT.
As long as you're not getting cold. So, like, I do not want you to have hypothermia in here. I'll be really upset if that happens.
If what?
Yeah, hypothermia. You just drop from that.
Oh yeah, no. I'm from a cold state, and no, it is so stinking hot outside. It doesn't look like it though.
I stepped out. Really? Is it really that hot? I was out there earlier. Is that bad?
The sun is not beaming.
This is a very dated episode, people, by the way. This is, today's August 27th, 2021. So you can look up in the future about the weather on this day.
Oh, very dated, very dated. Hey, this is a rant. Are we ranting? Okay, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We're just trying to
I mean, like,
fly.
I mean, this is a bit of a rant, but I mean, we're having a cohesive conversation, so is it really a rant?
I was ranting. I'm ranting because the parents, the little newbie parents, are not doing the kiddos right. That's what I got stuck in my head. Is you're not a parent just yet, or I don't know.
I feel like I'd be a good parent, so that's why I'm like,
Really?
oh yeah, I'd be an excellent parent.
How?
Oh,
How?
I'm a very motherly person, because I'm like my mom. And the way like I treat other people and care for other people. See,
Aww.
I'm a very complicated human being. Like,
So-
there's a lot of trauma that goes along with the way I am. Because I make a lot of poor choices. I make like poor choices often, unintentionally. But I do know.
How could that be a good parent?
But I do know when it comes to the responsibility of taking care of those that I care for the most. Like I know I will be an amazing parent. I've been called a dad already. I'm basically a dad to all my friends. Like I will be an excellent parent.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the dad in the group. He makes wise decisions.
Oh, dads don't make wise decisions at all. That's another thing. Dads don't.
I wouldn't say that. I don't even know. Wait till your father gets home. And then you get to spoil them, and then we get mad, and then we fight. The husband and the wife, yeah, okay.
I feel like if I were a parent and my wife would be like, wait till your father gets home, she tells me what happens, I have to act like I'm mad, and then when she walks away, I'm like, alright, that was pretty funny. Like, alright, that was pretty funny, you can have that.
How are they gonna learn? You're so silly.
Well, that's why you gotta sit him down and be like, yo, like, it was funny, but like, this is why you can't do these things. Like, it's funny at the moment, but it's not gonna be funny if you keep on doing these things. You gotta chill, man. Alright?
Okay.
Like, you can still have fun with your kid and talk to them like they're a person, because there's this whole... See, now it's time for me to rant.
That.
Now it's time for me to rant. So, like, there's this whole, like, stigma of, like, with parents, like, well, I'm not your little friend. Yeah, you're right. We're not friends. And you are my parent, but that doesn't mean we can't have a friendly banter, we can't have decent conversation. You know, it's really detrimental that parents believe that you need to be a hard ass with your kids. You're just raising a terrible person if you're going to do that. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a mom and a dad. Mom and dad. A single parent. I don't know. Needs a little of both roles.
Yeah, like,
It sucks.
as much as we, as a society, we think, like, we don't need a father figure in our lives or a mother figure. Like,
do.
You really do.
You do.
My mom's a single parent.
Absolutely.
I had to father myself. Like, I had to teach myself how to be a man in our world. It's not easy, you know?
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's really, really hurts. And yeah, boys and girls need their father
Yeah, they do.
a lot. And their mother, of course. I mean, I could tell you the reasons why each one is important. It's just the big people they fell in love for a reason. They have to get over their problems.
No, I don't necessarily agree
You don't
with
think that?
No, you shouldn't have to stay together for the kids. Don't do that. No.
No, but why did the people get together in the beginning of time? You can communicate. Why can't you communicate?
Well, that's fine. Well, I think...
For the kids.
Oh, that's fine. I thought you meant, like, stay together for the kids. Absolutely not.
No, communicate, stay together as far as mental
Yeah.
and
But, well, I mean, I think through the beginning of time, I don't think there was a means of like liking or like falling in love with each other to build something. It was like, yo, you're into it, I'm into it. We both don't have any intellect because we're cavemen. Like, let's do it. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it all started. And then as we progress as
I don't even know about that.
and then as
I
we
don't even
progress
know.
as a society,
Uh,
or even
that's
yeah, even
funny.
back then, it didn't have to be male cave person or male. It could have to be caveman or cave woman. It could be caveman and caveman or cave woman and cave woman. We don't know. That's how we
Yeah,
function in society.
And yeah, we don't know. We don't know nothing.
But yeah, I just think that I think as we developed as human beings and developed, I think, into like the social standards, that's when families became a thing, or structured families became a thing. You know.
June Cleaver, the white picket fence, the
June
dog.
Cleaver.
Structured family? Is that a structured family? What are you talking about?
Oh, when you said June Clear, sorry, I was born in the 90s. I didn't get that
Oh.
reference.
Okay. Okay, you're the baby boy.
Was Leave It a Beaver
Okay.
or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least you heard of that.
I know
At
what that
least.
is, yeah. There was a really bad 90s Disney remake of that film.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, when I say structured families, I mean as in, like, father, mother, children stick together for long periods of time. Before it was like, alright, you're able to...
There's some families that are like that.
Some are, some aren't.
Well, right, but there's. I'm just letting you know that there are families that are like that.
Oh, no, I know there are. But I mean, it's just...
Close.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're just a very complicated society that we live in. Because all our experiences are very much different. Like, my idea of a family, well, not my idea, but like my experiences with family could be similar to yours, could not be similar to yours. That doesn't mean everyone has a great mother, you know. My mom was cool, really great to me. That doesn't mean everyone else's mom was great to them, you know.
You said the what's the thing called the family that sticks together.
Structured family?
Structured. That's the word.
Yeah.
Back then, they weren't as far advanced as we are now. I mean, there was corporal punishment, beatings and stuff. Now, in our generation, now, those people go to jail, and the laws have changed, and you can't treat people like you did here back in the day. You can't treat people like that anymore, because you will go to jail.
Well, yeah.
Do you even understand corporal punishment? Like, for instance, my dad was a logger up in the mountains. He would log. It's a hard job. Chains around trees, drag them to the river, push them down the hill as they go into the river, and then into the house thing where they cut the wood. I don't know. He would come home, and all three of us, Ricky, Ronnie, and Friday, we would have to line up on the wall, like when people arrest people with your hands, and pull our pants down to our ankles, and we all three got the belt. Chomp, chomp.
For no reason.
Sometimes. Pretty much. And
Are you comfortable talking about this right now? Because if you don't...
it's just the way it was. I'm just trying to make a point.
Because I don't want you to feel like...
I'm just trying to make a point.
Okay.
That
I don't want to put you in an environment where, like, it's hard to talk about those things, you know?
it's just the family that's gonna see. They're gonna just be red, and that's, hey, I'm an open book, and I'm sorry, but that's a life. Why are you laughing?
Because there was a lot to talk about so open in the air like that.
It is. It's life. It's a life.
So
it's
you
my life.
Well, I mean, you can't be
It's
doing
my life.
Fair.
My life. That's the way it was. But after a certain point in time, there's a law.
Yeah.
And now, you can't. Well, I took my brothers when they became parents. Well, okay, only one that I know of did his kids with the belt, just like that. I was appalled. I could not even stand it. Can't. I'm the kid that flipped completely away.
Yeah, so you're like the black sheep.
From that, totally.
Yeah.
I took on characteristics of sitting in a chair in a corner and facing the wall, or using a wooden spoon, which is not even appropriate and right either.
Yeah.
And I went away from that. But I tried everything, just not a belt. Yeah.
So, like, I'll open up about some stuff in my life. So my mom never hit me. Never felt it was necessary to. Because I wasn't really a bad kid. I was really a kind soul as a child. But the rest of my mother's side of the family believes that my mom should have hit me because I turned out to be different. Different as in the way you raised us was wrong, or the way you raised my mother was wrong. You do a lot of things backwards. You treat people horribly. But the fact that I'm able to process these things and connect these things.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Or your mom?
No, me. Only because I've become such a person where I'm very hyper aware of the way our family is structured is awful. Like, terrible. So they blame my mom for not hitting me as a kid. You didn't hit him, so he thinks for himself. And my mom was like, absolutely, he thinks for himself.
My family. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were totally against that. You're right, and that's part of why I'm the black sheep.
And I don't think it's coincidence out of my family that my sister and I were the only ones that didn't get hit, but we're the ones with the college education, and we're the ones who are the most educated. We're the ones who have the highest ceiling out of the rest of our family.
That's not all. Well, okay, I got that.
Yeah.
But okay.
I mean, because my mom I'm not saying that that's the reason why, or that's makes me a better person for the rest of my family. It's just it gave me more accessibility to grow as a human being. Because I wasn't beaten, or I wasn't kept sheltered in a whole sphere.
Are we going to be able to fit all of this on?
Yeah, you can put on YouTube, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little extra behind the scenes, people.
I don't want it to be cut off.
No, if you're on YouTube, you'll be fine. The whole thing will be on YouTube. TV, it might be, but it's fine. TV's not... Honestly, YouTube is more important than actual TV at the moment. So don't worry about that.
I don't even have TV.
Oh, happens.
I don't watch TV.
Do you want to wrap up?
No, I want to know the rest of what... It's just you and your sister, but...
We'll wrap up at 5.
Your mom had brothers and sisters?
Yeah, my mom has, there were 6 kids overall. My mom was the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
And
she watched how they did their kids, probably.
She just watched how she was done, and the rest of the siblings were done, and she knew not to be that way.
Exactly.
So, she has 2 older sisters, 3 older brothers. One of her sisters passed away, my mom passed away. But, my other aunt's gonna pass away too, like any day now, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
I'm thinking...
There's a lot that goes on behind that one.
Counting is so stupid to me. 1, 2...
What you mean?
Parents that count. I'm gonna count to 3, and they count to 5. Or, I think that is so I just count to 1. And if they don't do it by 1, consequences. Period. End of story. You don't know what I'm talking
No, I know what
about?
you're talking about. I'm just thinking like the scenario where
Parents
that would be
don't
necessary.
follow through. They go to 3 and they go, okay, well, and a half, 2.5. What happened? I don't know. I've always just counted to 1, and that's it. End of story.
Sorry, I was getting a phone call for work.
That's my rant.
Fair. Well, I think parents,
But
it's complicated.
it's very, and we don't have books, but your mom was the youngest.
Yeah.
I am the youngest, and I watched how my brothers dealt with their kids. And it was exactly like we 3 kids got raised. I don't have anything to do with it at all.
And most of my cousins, they're
At all.
I'm just gonna say they're dumb as shit. Like they're not the brightest human beings I've ever met in my life. Because they're brought up horribly, you know? They're brought up with this passing down of abuse and generational trauma instead of actually addressing things that need to be
And
addressed.
then they have kids.
Oh man, my cousin's kids, I feel so bad for them. Like, my cousin's son is like 12 now, and he's a really smart kid. Like, I see him do things where I'm like, bro, you are definitely your father's son. Like, he'll say some really hateful things, he'll say something really homophobic, where I'm just like, bro, you shouldn't be saying that. There's no reason for you to say these hateful things. Like, oh, my daddy says it. Well, your daddy's very misinformed, very ignorant.
Dumb.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes you gotta say dumb to 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds don't know what misinformed. Well, most of them don't know what misinformed means. But yeah,
That's
unfortunate.
so sad.
Yeah.
That is.
I was like, you're living
That
in
is so sad.
a warped world right now, where I'm like, it's awful. Yeah.
That is another thing with parenting. You don't think they're listening and watching,
Oh yeah.
but I can attest 100% from my own. I never thought she was watching or listening. Tiffany, my daughter,
Yeah.
she totally was. Little. Never have I thought. Like cooking. Like I was sleeping. She made out of the little muffin boxes, little Jiffy boxes.
Yeah.
That kid turned the oven on, whipped it, read the instructions at 6.
Yeah.
6. I'm not even knowing she could do that. Made muffins to surprise me. And I know that we didn't have any bread products in the house at all. Nothing. And I told her, don't answer the phone. I mean the door. Excuse me, the door. Do not answer the door.
Yeah.
I thought she took a chair and she said, Mom, I have a surprise for you. And she put it on a tray and I saw it was bread. And I thought she took a chair and unlatched the thing because she's smart. So I had to put a latch so she wouldn't escape anymore. She didn't though. And she made them. She
Yeah.
made the food. So I'm telling you that kids watch and they listen to every single thing that you say.
Yeah.
Everything.
I did it when I was 5 or 6. I made Kraft mac and cheese from the box. And my mom was like, who taught you this? I'm like,
That
watching
is
you. Like,
just unbelievable.
yeah, kids aren't dumb. Like,
And you can't be like, I mean, you pull a chair over to the thing and the water and that is insane.
yeah, I even knew, because hanging out with my grandparents a lot, I knew how to make beans at like 6 or 7. Like, I was able to make a whole meal by myself.
Ah.
As a kid, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's my time with my grandparents.
I was freaking out because I'm like, I thought she was unsafe. But then I thought, oh my God, she could have burnt the house, us down in the house. The oven. I'm
Yeah.
like, did you turn the oven off? Yes, Mommy, yes. and she started crying, and oh my God, I feel so bad. Our kids are so smart. This is blinking. Wonder why.
That's fine. Don't worry about that.
The kids.
If there's a problem, I'd be like, yo, there's something wrong. No, it's like...
I don't know. Kids are smart.
Oh, they're very smart.
I was not. I don't think I was. I don't think I was.
None of us think we're smart until, like, we hear stories about ourselves. Like, really? Yeah.
I don't know, but... I don't know.
We can wrap up now.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, well... I want to give my guest the words that he wants to tell you and the world. Jovan, speak to the camera and let them know what you want to know.
Just be kind to one another. There's no reason to be cruel or unruly to each other. It's not necessary. Do the best that you can as a human being. Drink water and take care of your skin.
Nice. That was so nice. That was nice. Beautiful skin. Drink lots of water, yes. Do something nice for somebody today, tomorrow, and every day. But I'm here today. I'm telling you today. Love one another. Say something positive and nice. Okay? God bless, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.